Today's episode of In the Trenches is brought to you by System 12 Guitar Method. Sign up today at ryanroxie.com.
In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of In the Trenches. I am your host, Ryan Roxie. What is happening, folks? I'm in a squeaky chair right now. I'm not in my normal studio in Europe. I am vacationing in Florida because Alice Cooper just wrapped up the last shows of the year, and I thought I'd take a couple days. Hey, there we are. There's Vic Chalfant putting it out there. Over on stage right, our big shout out to Chris Wise, who filled in on bass as Chuck Garrick was on the KISS cruise. So Chris Wise came in there, kicked ass, and we did some great shows. It was a show with the Misfits. Then we did a private Halloween show. But you know what? Enough about me. It's about you guys. It's about you guys right now hitting that subscribe button, hitting the like button, helping us out with the algorithm. If you're listening to us on an audio broadcast, thank you very much. But we want you on our YouTube channel. That's Ryan Roxie official YouTube channel, because that's where we get the views, and that's where you get to see our guests, and it's where you get to be into the live chat, where we love having you in the live chat right now. Hello, everybody. Hello, Lynn. Thanks again, everyone, for supporting and tuning into the podcast. We've done a few during the last couple of weeks because I've been touring. That we're going to get more on a consistent schedule in the coming months. But yeah, we've had some great shows. We had some great guests, and today is definitely one of the best we're going to have. That's the way I'm looking at it, anyway. So let's dive in, shall we? It's truly great to see the rise of a band from its early stages of jamming to playing Hughes stages all around the world. Our guests today totally prove that rock and roll is family, and blood runs deep in the veins of these three sisters that have been winning over the audiences at every big rock show. They've been sharing those big stages with bands like Guns N' Roses, Foo Fighters, Hailstorm, and a whole lot more. And here to talk about all those things rock, plus the newest album, Air, that is out on Lava Republic Records. Please welcome into the trenches, Daniela, Paulina, and Alejandra from the band The Warning. Hello, girls.
Hi.
Hello.
Great to be here. Wow.
Well, I hope my squeaky chair isn't going to take too much of the sound bites over there, because we want to hear you guys as well. But welcome to In the Trenches. Thank you guys so much for taking the time, because we were talking right before we started the show. You guys are about ready to take off on a plane tomorrow to start yet another tour all the way in Canada. So where are you guys right now? Are you in Mexico right now?
Yes. We're in our hometown, Monterrey, Mexico. We leave tomorrow.
You're going to notice that our producer picks out some great ones. I mean, I don't think he took that shot because he's a photographer as well, but I think he got the nearest postcard of Monterrey, Mexico. And we might as well, go back to get forward, Vic, because we are talking a little bit of history with The Warning. Here we are. Let's hit it, Vic. So Daniela, Paulina, and Alejandra, The Warning, you guys formed in Monterrey, Mexico. I met you guys very early on when you had just not when you just started, I don't think, but it was early on in the early days of The Warning, and we played a show. What was that show that we played in Monterrey?
It was a festival. It was called Mother of All Rock Festivals. It was in Monterrey, Mexico. It was like one of our first big festivals in Monterrey.
Mm-hmm.
Long time ago. I think I was 15.
We look like babies.
Yeah.
I know. And I remember your manager, Rudy.
Yeah.
That works in your magic. He was very instrumental in introducing me to, I think it was a crow that was like a bird that was on. Did you remember that bird that was just hanging out? Did you hold the bird?
Yes, I did. It was really
I did hold the bird.
And do you remember the other bands that were on that festival when we first played?
Yeah,
Well,
I think it was Def Leppard.
It was Vince Neil. It was Tyler Brand and the Shakedown, Tesla.
I think Buck Cherry was on that. Wasn't Buck Cherry on there? Yeah. So there you go. So that started out, a bunch of touring and a bunch of like just probably a whirlwind. And you can see from these early pictures, you guys have been into it from an early age. Who was the first one to pick up an instrument of the three of you?
It was at the same time.
Yeah.
Danny and I picked up the piano. I was 4. She was 6.
Yes.
Ale was like a year old at that time.
So no instruments for her at that
but
time.
After
look
that,
at us.
we played the piano for a while. We played classical music. And
Right.
then our parents bought us the video game, The Rock Band. And that's when we like really fell in love with rock and roll. And we picked our instruments from that game. Danny picked the guitar.
And technically, I was the first to pick another instrument, and I went with the guitar. But Pau was so good at the video game and like the fake drums. I was just like, "Do you want to play the drums?" And my sister was like, "Yes." So we kind of started at the same time, just like months apart.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, because it's you guys are all listed. I mean, you all sing, but plus you all play piano. So was that kind of like the first one that started, the first instrument that started it all?
Yes, definitely. And I feel like the piano plays a very big part in the band today, especially like how we write. Because like when I start writing, I don't play the guitar. I wish I did, but
I've tried teaching.
Like it's not my thing. I've come to peace with it. But so the piano is great for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're building quite a name for yourself with your drums as well. I mean, because you are like, you know, your center stage, your center, in a lot of photos, your center photo as well. And Sabian seems to love you. What are the drum companies that you're working with now?
Oh, so I am part of the Sabian family, and I'm not part of the other families, but I play with DW and Big Firth. Yeah.
There you go. So shout out to some companies out, drum companies. Always like to give them that as well. And what are your guys' weapons of choice when it comes to guitars? Do you have whatever's right for the song, or do you have a particular kind that you like especially?
You know, I would love to go whatever's right for the song, but I can't travel with that many guitars at this point. But one day I will.
You will. You will.
Yeah. But I'm part of the PRS family as of right now, and I love my PRSs. And in my how do I say it? In my touring case right now, I have a Gibson Explorer that was gifted to me by Lizzie Hale.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
I know.
Is it one of her signature series?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
He actually said that they worked with Gibson to make one specifically for me so that I feel like comfortable in it.
Wow.
That's like,
even better. That's even better.
Yes.
And Alejandra, what kind of basses and bass gear are you playing with?
So I am part of the Spectre family, which I started playing Spectre like 4 years ago, maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
And it was the first like full scale bass I ever used, and now I play with a 5-string bass. And I love my Spectre bass, I really do.
Yeah.
And we both play with orange amps.
Oh yeah, forgot about the amps.
Well, what about I'm curious about the 5-string bass, because I play with so many bass players that have the 4-string traditional. When did you make the transition, and do you find the 5-string bass really helps you out as a trio?
Yeah, so a lot of our songs I had to tune down my E string when I used the 5-string bass.
Drop D.
Yeah, no, not even drop D. Like I used to go all the way to like C sharp, and the E string sounded horrible. And
too floppy. Yeah.
And so I was like, maybe I should start playing with a 5-string bass, because we really do use those low notes because we are a trio. And I started playing a 5-string bass like 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah,
I think.
You actually got used to it like mid-pandemic.
Yeah, I got
we
used
weren't
to it
even playing live. Yeah.
And honestly, it worked out really well because I had time to like get used to it.
Learn it, yeah.
Yeah, and it honestly helps a lot. I really do like playing with a 5-string bass, and I feel like if I grab a 4-string bass, I will miss that,
that lower. Yeah, I got you. That's cool. That's good. You know what? That's about the most amount of questions I think we've ever had on the podcast about bass. And we've had lots of bass players on as well. But here's the thing. I see a lot of comments coming up, and honestly, if you're listening to this on the audio broadcast, we want you on the Ryan Roxie official YouTube channel so you can not only be in the live chat, but you can also see the warning, and you can see all these great comments that are coming up and be part of the live chat. There's a lot of people that are excited to see you because you're in Mexico tonight or today, but then tomorrow you are flying to start yet another tour in good old Canada. So you're flying over the US, and tell us about this next tour and what's happening like basically tomorrow.
Okay. Right. So this is a tour we're doing with 3 Days Grace. We were invited by them to open up their shows in this leg of their tour. We're super excited. Yeah. We've been to Canada before, and we played a couple of headlining shows, and the people are just great. Yeah, so it's really exciting to go back, and not only go back and like play, but sharing the stage with 3 Days Grace, which is a band that we've listened to like in our, I was gonna say in our like our younger days, but we're still really young, so that doesn't. Yeah. But it's gonna be awesome. We're kind of nervous about the cold. I mean, we're from Mexico. It doesn't get that cold over here.
No.
So
well, we were talking about what you're going to actually pack. And I said, the last couple Alice tours, I've been trying to pack as little as possible in my bag because I always end up bringing back more stuff when I'm done with the tour. But for this one, especially we're in November 22, global warming isn't that intense yet. So I think Canada is still going to be a little bit cold. If I were you, I'd bring at least a sweater.
At least. We're packing like really big jackets and
gloves, everything.
You
actually have like a ski mask.
Yeah, I have like a ski mask that you can only see. I'm super nervous about the cold. Yeah. It's gonna be like
below.
Like it's gonna be like negative 20. Yeah. Oh, in Celsius. I don't know Fahrenheit.
Well, good luck with 3 Days Grace on that tour. Stay warm, obviously. But I mean, this is just one of many, many shows that you've already had this year. And I think your manager, Rudy, sent over a picture of all the tour dates that you have been doing. I think it's just for this year, maybe some of last year, but it's almost with radio and TV appearances. You've done over 100 dates. Is that true?
Yeah, that's
this is only like this year. Yeah. And this is like from February on.
Wow. Well, that dives us into the actual mode of touring because there's with the band, you learned how to play. You cut your teeth in Monterrey, Mexico. You put the first album out, I believe it was in 2017, right? With 21st Century Blood. Was that the first album?
Yeah.
And then, but between going in the studio, you're constantly touring. I think one of the, most challenging things about being on tour is the off stage. It's not the time you spend on stage; it's the time you spend off stage. So. I'm not going to give myself credit for this question because I'm going to give myself credit to a Canadian. This is a little version of the show that we call Let the People Speak. And I know, Vic, I'm coming in a little bit before it's supposed to come in, but that's okay because this is Let the People Speak. And it's coming from a Canadian because you guys are going to Canada. He plays in a band called Sticks and Stones. Nick Lasante, he's in a band with his brother. So he has a couple questions if you don't mind. Vic, run it. So like I said, this is a special one-off of Let the People Speak because Nick Lasante and his band Sticks and Stones, he's playing with his brother. His question is, I'm in a band with my brother. Does touring with your siblings have any downfalls? Is it easier? Because I've heard of the whole thing, like if they fight like brothers, does the same go for sisters or does it get along?
We get along great.
Yes.
We have a really good relationship with each other.
I have to say, I love this question because we usually get like, what is it being in a band with sisters? But this is touring with your siblings.
It's
different.
And we've shared a room our whole lives.
Yes.
So we know what it's like to be with each other all the time. When you're touring, I feel like at one point you're just so tired. But I feel like the little fights that we have is usually like who has to go down to the lobby to like receive the Uber Eats. Or like who gets to shower first, because we have like 15 minutes to shower and get in the tour bus, that type of thing. But I mean, you just get a little pissed, but it's actually really easy.
Yeah, I know.
Like, we get along great, and we
Have
know
you reached the point of separate dressing rooms yet? Or
no,
is it,
no,
all right.
no.
All right. So it's not the point of separate tour buses and separate dressing rooms just yet. Not Motley Crue yet. You are not Motley Crue yet. And you know what? You won't be, because you know what? I have a feeling that you will be together for years and years to come, because you have so much. You've just started, but you have so much to go with. The second question Nick Lasante had is, how are you girls balancing touring and education?
Okay. So we finished high school, the three of us. We graduated from high school. What was it, like? You and I, we graduated like a year ago, I think. Danny graduated a long time ago. And right now, as of right now, we're not studying.
We're focusing 100% on the music and the band.
But it was really important to us to graduate high school.
Yes.
Like, to get to that point at least. And we're not close to like on the road or something, like starting to study something else. But as of right now, like it's been 100% the touring life. Yeah.
Wow. So that being said, did music play a part when you were going to high school, or did you guys learn on your own? Did you learn from YouTube, or were you in the school band, or did you have private lessons?
We had private lessons our whole lives.
Yeah. And with different teachers, we like to have different like points of view in music and everything.
Really cool.
But yeah, music did play a big part of our lives in high school and middle school. Well, high school for me, middle school for them. Because we were, that first record that we made, 21st Century Blood, we were in the middle of the school year.
Yeah,
so
I was in 7th grade at that time.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay.
So we would just like go in and out.
Grade. You were in 5th grade. That's insane.
I was making 4-track demos in 7th grade. I wasn't making 48-track albums, but that's amazing. So that being said, do you still go on YouTube and learn stuff from other musicians, or when you're touring with these bands like Hailstorm, Pretty Reckless, and some other huge, opening shows, like you opened up for the Foo Fighters and Guns N' Roses? There's the tour that you did with Hailstorm and Pretty Reckless. What sort of things have you learned from those bigger bands?
Oh, well, I feel like a lot. You just I feel like when you're experiencing these things, you grow so much as a person and as a musician. It's insane. Every time we come back from the tours, we're like, oh my God, we've changed so much.
Yes.
And it's always very inspiring to be on these shows and just seeing these great musicians, these great people, and not only like the band itself, but like the whole crew.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so inspiring to see that and see how people work, because it's a really big team. It takes so many people to make things work, and to start learning from them and seeing how we can start applying things that they do to our, because we're a small team, of course, we're just starting out, but I feel like we have, like, I feel like everyone says this, but I feel like we have the best team in the world. And we're all just like a very big family, and it's really
and it, obviously you have a huge a team of fans and supporters, because when I went on to tag you guys for the promo of this podcast, there were, the Warning Argentina, the Warning in Austria, the Warning. So you have a lot of different fan bases all over the world. And I think that's only going to help for, the future as well. Keep building.
Yeah, sure. We feel very supported by our fans. And it's really inspiring how we see with each show how our fan base grows, and it's just really motivating to keep doing what we're doing. Yeah.
Well, there was a cool review of you guys where it said you guys just don't warm the crowd up, you set them on fire.
I love that.
So that was pretty cool. And I saw from one of these live comments that's in our live chat. If you are there, thank you for putting in all these live comments on our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button right there. So it helps us out with the algorithm and gets more people, more eyeballs on the Warning, if you will. But one of the comments that was really cool that said, hey, will we see you in Europe in 2023? Because my first question, have you properly toured Europe yet? And B, when will that happen?
Oh my God.
We haven't toured Europe.
No.
We've been last year. I think
We've been trying. Yes.
And we had a show scheduled, but then the pandemic hit, and it was just a bit funky.
Yeah.
But
we're gonna go to
hopefully
London.
next year we can visit
Yeah,
Europe.
hopefully.
It's in our
Yeah.
bucket list, and we know that we have a lot of fans over there, and we really want to visit them. It's
And we
very
wanna separate a good, chunk of time
Like, if
to
we're gonna go to
properly
Europe,
visit.
like do a whole tour over there.
Yeah.
So
that'd be
hopefully
great.
next year we can figure something out. And yeah, we're itching to go.
There you go. Well, hey, you know what? We have this thing on the podcast that we call Hot Topics, and it's kind of some hot button issues every once in a while. There you go. Thank you very much for putting that amazing logo up. Hot Topics. But one of the questions that we just had a lead singer of 6 a.m., James Michael, on a recent podcast interview was about backing tracks and whether you think that backing tracks is something, because you are a power trio and you guys have probably started out, just as bass, drums, and guitar. But as you progress, as the albums progress, as you get larger and larger, what is your feelings about using backing tracks? And being that you all sing already, do you use any backing tracks to support the sound, and is it that big of a deal, for younger bands and younger crowds, or do people just kind of accept it?
Okay,
Right.
I feel like backing tracks are sometimes, like, for us that we're a power trio, like when Danny solos, if we have backing tracks there to have like some
The
sort
bass.
of guitar.
Some sort of bass, yeah, some sort of foundation, a layering of a guitar, perhaps.
If we could
Right.
have another musician with us, that'd be fantastic. But like we can't. So I feel like backing tracks, especially like with starting bands, it's a huge thing. You feel very supported, and when you're writing, you have like certain freedom to do whatever you want because you know that you can kind of have it there. I feel
Yeah.
like there's a fine line when
Overdoing it?
yes, like if you
Like,
can
if
hear
you're-
more backing tracks than the actual band, well, it's kind of like
Or
okay.
if you don't have the backing tracks, your song doesn't work. That's where
Yeah.
you have
Yes.
like
Sometimes things go wrong in the show, and
Yeah.
like if
You have to be able to
you have to
go
be able
on.
to play without the backing tracks for it to be good. And
Yeah.
also a lot of things that we use, sometimes we have backing tracks that we don't put on the PA, and we
Yeah.
just have them for in-ears. That also helps.
They help you guys out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I feel like it depends on how you use them. They're a good tool.
Plus, you play them yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
It's
at
like
the
it's
end of
not
the day,
like it's something that I can't play, so I have
it's
to.
just
like,
sometimes that
Yeah.
some I can't physically play because I don't have 4 arms.
or like some
Exactly.
sort of sound effects.
oh
that-
yeah,
yeah,
like
that you
but
can-
how are we
Yeah.
gonna do like I don't know, like a siren sound? I can't.
Yeah. Or in Alice Cooper's position, some sort of like Frankenstein, screaming or something like that. Yeah. When
So
the sound of the guillotine cutting off a head, it's just like you can only get that through a sample. We can't do that live every single night.
with backing tracks is great as long as they don't become the band, in my opinion.
No, that's a great answer. That's a great answer to it. That being said, Alejandra, you kind of alluded to the fact that things do go wrong every once in a while. So you have, when it comes down to it, you've done some just bass, drums, and guitar shows.
Yeah,
sure.
For sure.
Definitely.
Many times,
Yeah.
and I feel like we're really proud of this. But sometimes the computer just fails, or my MIDI pedals fail, or whatever,
Mhm.
and no one notices. We just like stop playing with the click and with the stems, and we're just playing ourselves.
Yeah,
But
there's a certain power.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's amazing answer to this question of having it. I talked about my second hot topic of the day because I know this is going quite quick. It's kind of rapid fire. Maybe it's because you guys, are, just so young, vivacious, and ready to go and ready to tour, and you're going to Canada tomorrow. I have a million questions, but at the same time, it's like, there's no other sisters that we know about, or sisters. Okay, so are you open to the fact of adding somebody down the road if the budget permitted to add to the band? Is that something that you've ever talked about? Or are you going to keep it like the way Green Day is basically now a 5-piece? or
Right.
maybe even more. I don't know how many people they have on stage. It keeps growing and growing every single tour. But do you guys ever think like, oh, wait, maybe we could add someone on the live show as a member, or do you want to keep it as a trio?
Honestly, I
we've
feel like
never
we're not.
talked.
But I feel like we're not close to like in a
no.
faraway future.
You
Like,
know-
imagine having like so. I feel like it's a lot of work, but somebody who can play the guitar during your solos,
Yes.
like foundation guitar,
Keyboards.
and somebody could launch like the
Yeah.
computer things and not having
some live samples or something like that, perhaps, you know?
You know, one of our biggest inspirations ever, live and musically in general, is Muse. And they actually
Oh
have,
yeah, they have that. They
they
like a
have
keyboardist,
an everyone
guitar,
musician.
percussionist.
Yes.
A utility guy. Yeah.
So we're not
He's
close
amazing,
to
by
it.
the way.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
But right
Now-
now, I feel like we're good.
We're good.
Yes, for
Well,
sure.
you opened the door with Muse. Have you been in contact with Muse? Have you ever done a show with Muse?
We've
Well,
never done a show with me.
We just played in the same festival though. We did an aftershock.
We played in the same festival. We've seen them like 5 times live.
Live.
They reposted some of her stuff various times.
Yes.
We haven't opened for them though. It's
No.
like it's one of those bands.
We're putting it out there right now. We are putting it out there right now. Muse?
Yes.
Good. Well, I mean, you know what? When you put things out there, they tend to happen. They tend to, and even if it takes years and years and years, things actually do manifest themselves, because that is one of the questions that you had. One of the first viral videos you guys ever had was Enter Sandman by Metallica. And then you actually are now part of an album with Metallica called The Blacklist. How did that all come about? And did it have anything to do with, 7 years ago, making that viral video of Enter Sandman?
Oh, it definitely did. Yeah.
Yes.
We had a history with this album, with this song. And we were invited by Metallica along with Alessia Cara. We were going to do this. We were going to do this song together, this version. And it was a roller coaster. It was just insane. We had a week to like make the arrangement, do the new version of the song, record it, mix it, master it,
everything. And
we had a week to do that. And so we celebrated for like 5 minutes and we were like, we have to go to work right away.
Yeah.
So we worked with Matt Squire, who was our producer for this song. He traveled to Mexico, to our hometown, and we worked really quickly.
And Alessia was in Canada.
Yeah, she worked remotely from Canada. It was insane, but it was really cool to approach this song. It was really nerve-wracking as well. How do you change such an iconic song like Enter Sandman?
Because that was like the instructions. Like we don't want to be a straight up cover. We want like a version.
And we're like, oh my god, okay. And some of the artists that were on the lineup, like them just doing a rock version would be the cover itself, because they're not rock artists. But since they rock, we were like, how do we do this, man? It was really
Alessia Cara is basically a pop, known for being a pop singer, songwriter. So how did that relationship of the two of you? Did you guys know each other before this happened, or how did you guys end up hooking up together?
No. So we have the same management team, and that's how we
kind of like
her. But we met her through working on this version. Yeah. We met through Zoom, and now we played the song live together. We played it in LA, and we met her.
She's the sweetest person.
She's so nice. She's such a great person. Yeah. She's an incredible musician. It was an honor to work with her, honestly. It was
so maybe someday Metallica, The Warning, and Alessia Cara will play this song together. That would be something.
Imagine.
We'll put that out to the world as well.
For sure.
I love it. Well, hey, everybody, we are hanging out with The Warning. And of course, let me see if I can get it all right. I know I can. If you're looking at the screen right now, on your left, that's Alejandra on the bass guitar. In the center, that is Daniela. And on the right, that's drums, Paulina. There you go. And Danielle plays guitar and sings. And everybody sings. Everybody plays. In the live show, does everybody get to have their moment of a lead sort of front song?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Ale doesn't like singing.
I don't really
lead,
like singing. lead.
so he doesn't have her moment because she doesn't like.
You have a tiny moment though.
Yeah.
Next album.
Joe,
Next album.
But I really don't want it.
I
Like,
just want to tell you if you put me a lead part.
yeah,
Alright, okay.
like when Danny gets sick, and
Yes.
like
the show must go on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to sing a few songs, and I don't like it. I really don't. So
Technically, yes. She does have.
I love it. I love it. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about all the newest stuff that's been happening to you, the new single, the new album, Air, that is out on Lava Records. And of course, we're going to talk about learning guitar. And Vic, I'll just put out a little bit of System 12 because I have a guitar learning system. Everybody here that's on screen right now knows how to play their instruments. But if you're just thinking about diving into some rock and roll and you want to learn how all the fundamentals and the foundation of playing guitar, why don't you check out System 12? Vic, you want to run that? Thanks so much, man.
Hello, Ryan Roxie here from the Alice Cooper Band, and I'd like to talk a little bit about one of my favorite things, playing guitar. Here at the RGA headquarters, which stands for Roxie Guitar Army, by the way, we've put together a guitar learning system that will get you playing and understanding the guitar faster than any other teaching program out there. We call it the System 12 Guitar Method, and it's designed to make the most out of your time, your effort, and your passion for learning guitar. By combining new school technology, old school mentoring, and the number 12, we have invented a new way to teach guitar. And over the past year, we have helped so many people who wanted to start or continue their guitar journey do exactly that. Now, we'd like to help you. There's never been a better time to start learning guitar than right now. If you think it's too hard, the System 12 makes it easy. If you think it'll take too much time, the System 12 will have you playing in 12 weeks. And if you think it's too expensive, the entire System 12 costs less than what one private guitar lesson would cost you at your local music store. Check out the official site or the links below in the description of this video to join the RGA and get started on your guitar journey with the System 12 Guitar Method. Now, let's get back into the trenches for some more rock and roll. Enjoy the show, enjoy the ride. Mwah! That's it.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to, I guess you could say, part 2 of The Warning. The Warning is about ready to head off on a Canadian tour in support of their newest record called Air. The newest singles we talked about, you had a couple of them recently. The latest video is Money. And before that, I think there was Choke. That's also on the album as well. But Money, how are you guys? Do you have a favorite single that you've released so far that you found, playing it live just really works?
Oh,
okay.
Playing it live.
Evolve.
Evolve. Yeah, Evolve was her second single. But live it just hits different.
Yeah,
it's a really
How
It was
screams.
definitely not my favorite song on the album.
on the album, same.
But
playing
live,
it live,
it's my
So then, what do you think it is? Because that is true. But there's certain songs that sometimes you, as a recording artist, you write it, you record it, and you go, yeah, I like it, but it's not my favorite. But then either the crowd reacts more so than and they go crazy over it. I keep on coming back to that song "Rocket Queen" by Guns N' Roses, and you guys just opened up for Guns N' Roses not that long ago, just recently, and in your hometown, which is amazing. But so is Evolve like that, or what is it? Do you think that pops and reworks it with Evolve?
Ooh,
Right.
with Evolve, I just feel like it's a really high-paced song.
It
Yes.
is.
That gets people like really hyped up.
Moving.
I scream in that song, and it's just it releases like so much energy.
It does.
And it's usually the song that we play at the very end.
Of the
Like our
set.
last
set.
song.
It's our last song. It's our encore song,
There you
and
go.
it's
Yeah.
just super cool. And we get people to clap. And, like,
Well, tell us about this idea of you just joined this Tidal Rising concert series, and I believe you just did something for Halloween, and perhaps it's something that's going to go on where you have immersive Halloween inspired production. Maybe it'll be for other holidays as well. But how did the whole Tidal Rising concert series come about, and what is it about?
okay. Okay.
Okay.
It's our first time somebody like asking us about that.
Yeah.
So we had to keep it a secret for a while. We recorded it September at the beginning of
16
September
in LA.
in LA.
But yeah, no, we work with the Diamond Brothers to create this concert, and I don't even know how it works.
It's honestly amazing. Recording it was really different.
It was so
different.
It
was awesome, and it's a Halloween thing, but we really wanted to take the opportunity to like celebrate Dia de Muertos because it was going to be released around those dates, and so we dressed up as Catrinas.
Yes,
and we played. It was really fun, and the set. Like it looks like a Day of the Dead altar. It's so
they did such an amazing job on it.
Honestly, I felt like they were like really like respectful to the culture and like honoring it. It just felt really nice.
You know, it was really nice that we recorded it on the Mexican Independence Day.
Oh, it was the Mexican Independence Day.
The Day of the Dead or Day of the Muertos. Yeah, is that what it was?
That was yesterday. Yeah, and it was just really cool to like honor our country in that way and our culture and play our songs like that and to be part of this project with so many cool, amazing artists was such an honor.
So you can see that video now.
That's because I'm looking at all the comments in the live chat. Like, where can I see this Tidal Rising concert series? So tell the folks right now where they can see the warning in this Tidal Rising concert series.
So this concert is a virtual reality concert where you can have your VR headset.
It's the Meta Quest 2.
It's a Meta Quest 2. And you can literally have us in front of your face.
It's crazy. I don't know
crazy.
if you've ever seen it, but you have the people with you. And you're just there. It's really interesting. It's exciting.
So you need a set of VR goggles.
For the full experience, yes. But I think you can watch the normal video.
It Facebook. I think I don't have all the deets. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, yeah. We need to get like
the deets. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if someone were to Google the warning Tidal Rising concert series, they would find the information out there. And or ask Siri or whatever, you know.
Yes, you'll find it.
Shout it out the window, and I'm sure someone will yell it back to you. I love it. All right. Well, the other thing I want to talk about, because I've been noticing it the whole interview, and Daniela, this is something I think that comes that we have very much in common, and it's a tough one because it's not been an easy year for us, but I'm a huge Raiders fan, and who's the biggest Raiders fan out of you three?
Oh, wow.
Probably me.
Danny knows the most about football.
Yes, a little bit. You know,
but we're part of the Raiders family.
Exactly. We actually went to the first, game in Vegas, like in the stadium of the season.
Yeah, it was amazing.
We were
on the field. Like we were there next to the players.
Damn. Well, I mean, I was at the game last week at the New Orleans Saints, and that was kind of like the dagger in the heart for our season this year. And I don't know what's wrong with it, but I'm so glad that you guys got to see it. Were you able to play at the Allegiant Stadium yet?
Oh no,
not yet.
It's coming. Put it out there.
But we played in various Raiders events.
But we saw Santana play the national anthem.
Yeah, it was cool. Woo.
There's Plunkett. There's you and Jim Plunkett. I love it.
Yes.
So what started you guys off being Raider fans? Was it because when the Raiders would come down to Mexico and play their games? Because they played a bunch of games. They were like the home team in Mexico for a while, right?
Yeah, you know, they have a very big Mexican fan base. Actually, I think that's kind of like how because we have been with an airline. Is that how
there was this partnership with the Raiders with an airline here in Mexico. There's a direct flight from Mexico City to Las Vegas because of them. It's like the official Raiders flight. So we were invited to participate in the launch, and that's how we became a part of the Raiders family. Yes. And then we just went to the stadium and we met so many people, and we just became really big fans. So it's been awesome.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I'm going to manifest myself into that wish to play Allegiant Stadium, because I want to go there and play for the Raiders as well. At least do. I know that Orianthi one of our guitar players that we've been able to play with over the years in the Alice Cooper band. She just recently played, and I think she played with Carlos Santana at the Raider game in a recent one as well.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, you know what? It's been a tough year for us so far, but you know what? We're still going to be Raiders fans. Right?
Exactly.
All right, let me move more back on to the warning, the music. I just kept on seeing your sweater, and I was like, I have to bring up the Raiders, man. I'm such a huge Raiders fan. I usually have some sort of Raiders gear on at whatever time. I even have a guitar that I flip up, and I especially do it when we're playing Kansas City or we're playing Denver. I make sure to flip it up, and it's the Raiders logo, and I get booed constantly for it. So it's always nice. But also, new things that are happening, because there's so much stuff that's going on with the warning right now. Talk to me about the Imperfects Netflix special. There was a song in the Imperfects, and how did that come about, and what is it, and how can people see that? Obviously going on to Netflix, but what's it about?
Can you believe that it was a surprise for us
For
as
us,
well?
like we didn't know it was happening.
We're just like, wait, what?
Until we saw a post on our social media, like, oh my God, there's a song of ours there. That's insane.
Which song is it, and where are people going to be able to see it?
No, it's Sensor Salmon.
Oh yes,
It's Sensor Salmon.
Salmon.
So actually, since we don't own I think it was just like they asked Metallica for permission, and it was just a surprise,
it was a surprise for us.
It was awesome, though.
And it was your version of that song, though.
Right.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect,
The
guys.
song that was so important to us in the beginning of our career just keeps on giving for us, and in so many ways. It's just
Definitely.
really awesome.
And even before it was released, it was actually part of the trailer for a new Marvel video game. And I think I
remember that.
I remember that.
I had that too.
Yeah.
Because that came out before
the actual song
came out.
I think I literally almost fainted.
We're part of the Marvel universe now. Hey.
Dude, you guys are part of a lot of family. You're part of Raider Nation. You're part of the Marvel family. I love it. Let me ask you this, because that song has been so instrumental in your careers thus far. Have you ever had any direct contact with any of the members of Metallica?
When we made our first cover, Kirk tweeted about it, and he reposted it.
Yes.
And
they know of our existence. Like, they actually gave us feedback on the song, and they really liked it.
They told us that they loved it.
But through an email. Like, we haven't through
management. But we haven't met them. We met
Lars's wife.
Yeah, we met Lars's wife.
Nice.
She interviewed us. She's really nice.
Along with Matt Pinfield. Oh my God.
This
was
a month ago.
This was like a month ago.
But we have yet to meet them. Hopefully, we get to throwing it out there. One of their shows as well. So
you never know.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking Metallica. They're Raider fans. They're
No!
They have to be. They have to be. The Bay Area. They cut their teeth in the Bay Area. I know they formed in Los Angeles, but they cut their teeth in the Bay Area. They better be Raider fans. If they're not, I would be very disappointed.
It would be so funny if we actually all just like meet at a Raiders game.
That'd be
hilarious.
I'm there. I'm there. As long as the Raiders actually show up to play, unlike they did against the Saints. And I'm telling you, it was, and the whole thing was, I was in New Orleans. We did a short little run. We did Tulsa, and then we did a show with a band called the Misfits in Dallas. Really cool. And thanks everyone for showing up, all you Alice Cooper faithful. Then we went to New Orleans for a private Halloween party, and we got to go see the game there. Raider Nation showed up big time. It's just that unfortunately the team did not. So it was a tough one. But then again, when you have a game that bad, every Raider fan was just walking around laughing, and just like, what can you do? And they weren't feeling threatened because there was no red in the other people's uniforms or no blue or anything. It's like the Saints colors are black and gold, Raiders are silver and black. So it was kind of like everybody got along.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's good. Yeah.
So anyway, it looks like we have some sort of person in the chat that's being a little bit of a troll. So you can remove them, Mr. Burgles, or whoever you are. And that's fine with us. We're going to move on to our fan of the week. So a lot of you guys have amazing fan base all over the world. The Warning does. We over here at In the Trenches also have an amazing fan base and support following base. If you'd like to be part of it, all you have to do is hit that like and subscribe button right now. That would be great. And let's go for the fan of the week right now. Vic, what do you think? Yeah?
Awesome. Yes. Let's do it. Ooh.
And Vic. This week's in the trenches fan of the week is James McWilliams. There he is playing my Gibson Les Paul. I love it. But you know what? He doesn't really play guitar all that much. He's usually got a baby with him. It's not a real baby, but he's got the $1 billion baby with him. And
real baby. Oh my God.
So he's got he's such was a cool force on this last tour run that we did. He held out, he brought out little flags for everybody on the show, on the song called Freedom, passed it out to the entire crowd. He's been a road dog. He follows us. And congratulations, James McWilliams, for being the fan of the week. And I must ask, the warning, your fan base, do you have some people that travel and like sort of fly to see you and have some big supporters? And would you like to make a shout out to them?
Oh, yes, we
Oh
have
my God,
many
of
of
course.
them.
Of course.
Yeah.
I saw in the chat that Hela is here.
Yes,
And
yes. Strong That is also here.
Yes.
So we also have a Patreon page. So we know a lot of our fans through that community. But it's always amazing to see like these people who are from all over the world. Usually when we play in LA, this happens a lot. People from Europe travel there. People from South America, from all over the US.
When we play like our big shows in Mexico.
Yeah, everyone travels and they meet each other in person for the first time.
It's
so nice to see. So shout out to everyone.
There it is. And that's a hard question for me to answer when people ask me, is like, where do you think your biggest fan base is? Who are your favorite fans? Because you don't want to discount anybody. Everybody's different, but everybody's the same in the sense that everybody is so passionate. Have you noticed that certain countries are a little bit more over the top? But because for me, Mexico would be one of those fan bases, because Mexican fans are over the top for Alice Cooper. I mean, when we came down there for that festival that we all met at in Monterrey, it was crazy. It was amazing.
So yeah, definitely our Mexican fans, like our home fans, but also from South America as well.
Yes,
so, Argentina, Colombia, Peru, Bolivia. We have some really passionate fans, and we don't get to visit them that often. But hopefully next year we visit South America. I know that it's in the works, and we're working for it because they give us so much passion and love and support, and we would like to give it back in person.
And so what does the rest of the year look like for you guys? I know you're leaving on this Canadian tour tomorrow. And what happens after that? Do you run out the rest of the year, or how long does this one go for with 3 Days Grace? And what happens? What are the plans for early next year so far?
Okay, so we have this month-long tour with 3 Days Grace.
Yes.
And we come back to Mexico for like 2 days, and we leave for Colombia because we're playing Rock al Parque, which is this very big rock festival in Colombia.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We play in Colombia, and then after Colombia, we play in Peru. It's
our
our first time in Peru, and it's our headlining show there. It's going to be awesome. And we close the year in Peru.
Yes.
It's our last show of the year.
And that's
it's
like
just very exciting.
December 7th?
7? Yeah, that's when we close the year with touring. It's going to be awesome.
And then next you'll take a couple weeks off, and maybe a month or so off, and then you're back out, 2023. Who knows what's happening there? You'll just hit the road and keep building and building and building.
Exactly. Hopefully. That's the plan.
Well, the best way to build is actually find out where, let the people know where they can get in touch with you. And that's why we have a list of, there you go, a nice list of your social media of choice, folks. If you want to go check out The Warning, find out more about the sisters right now, why don't you guys, for those that are listening on the audio broadcast, tell people where to go find out more about your band, The Warning.
Ooh, okay. So we're The Warning Rock Band on almost every social media platform. We also have a Patreon page in which, if you want to get like really personal with us and meet a really cool fan base and community, you can find that out on the page. And we try to keep in touch with our fans as much as possible.
We can.
There we go.
And our official page is thewarningband.com.
Yes.
Okay. And I actually saw that you guys took a shout out to one of your Patreons earlier today on your own official Instagram. So there you go. We will be definitely hyping up this podcast and this episode for the next few weeks. And then, everybody here that's watching right now, if you could do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, and then tell people about The Warning, hashtag The Warning, and of course, hashtag In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie. So there you go. I can't thank you guys enough for coming on the podcast and taking a little bit of time out of your day. I want to know one last thing about being that you are such a young band, but you do have so much experience behind you already. Is there any sort of saying or advice that you might give to other people that are watching and forming in bands and saying, hey, I want to do what they're doing right now that has helped you? Do you have any sort of band advice or life advice for our listeners on In the Trenches today?
When everyone, but when we received this question, we're like, oh my God. Because we feel like so
I feel like I should be receiving advice instead of giving it. I feel like something that has really helped us in life in general, but I feel like it's a really important part of working in creative outlets, but communication is key. Make sure to always communicate what you're feeling in a processed way, and calm way, but people can't guess what's on your mind. You can't expect people to understand everything that you're going through. You need to communicate for that to happen. And also just be kind. I feel like kindness goes such a long way, especially in our line of work. Because we meet so many people every day, and to leave with a good impression, but also like with a good taste in your mouth. That makes sense in Spanish. I know it's not.
Say it in Spanish then, because that's good.
Con un sabor en la boca. Because it leaves you you really want to go back to those places where people treated you nicely, and just give it your all. Because every show is even if there's only 20 people in the crowd, those 20 people this could be the show of their lives, and they're just really excited to be there. So we always try to give the best show we possibly can everywhere, and that always makes a difference, not only to the crowd but also to your crew and to
be
the
true
band
to
itself.
yourselves.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work, but yay.
There you go. Well, thanks so much for giving all your time today and all the great answers that you had. Go check out The Warning, their new album, Air. I know there was a question earlier. Is it going to be available as a physical release coming out soon? And when can people expect that? Talk to us about it.
Okay.
Yes,
we have the CDs.
We do have some.
The vinyls are still
in the works
printed.
Because pandemic backed up
a lot of things.
All the factories.
But we have CDs now. You can get them signed in our store. You just hit up thewarningband.com, and our online store should be there. And yes, thank you for your time, Ryan.
Yes.
It's been awesome being here with everybody. And
maybe we'll do a little tour catch up at one point next year. And maybe, hopefully, because we've thrown it out there to the world a couple times, we'll see each other at the Allegiant Stadium, at a Raiders game, or we'll see each other again on the same stages somewhere, in this crazy world of rock and roll. Once again, let's put up those links one more time, Vic, for The Warning. Obviously, if people want to come and check out any more, choose your social platform of choice, your social media platform. The Warning Rock Band, pretty much on every single social media platform. But the main one is thewarningband.com. You can probably find all those links there. For next week, folks, I don't know where our guest is going to be. All I care about is today we had The Warning. Thank you so much, Alejandra, Daniela, Paulina. Thank you so much for being part of the Big Rock Show. And everybody, thank you for being a part of listening to it. Make sure you tell a friend, tell an enemy. I don't care, because we'll be back with another episode of In the Trenches really soon. Thank you so much, Federica, for helping out with the script. Vic Chalfant for producing, putting up all those great pictures. And you know what? The Warning. Love you guys. We'll see you again soon, okay?
Thank you so
Thank you so much.
See you guys next time.
Well, next time, everybody enjoy the ride. Have a good one, folks. See ya.
Trenches with Ryan Roxie.